Hi, let me ask you a question. What's leadership like in your environment? Do you even have leadership? Do you understand what leadership is? I'm McCoy here from Black Belt Lean Thinking, and this is a series of videos I'm going to do, just very short videos on different facets and perspectives on leadership. I truly believe lack of leadership is the greatest problem in the U.S. today. I don't care if you're talking about abuses of authority when it comes to the police department, or lack of accountability with government officials, or with executives that are making deals in closed rooms, working against their employees, suppliers, and customers. Leadership is what really provides protection for everybody in a community as part of a team or an organization. So let's look at what leadership is. I've mentioned in past videos that you can go to Google and type in leadership and find all kinds of books and articles and different information from totally different perspectives, and most of it is not on leadership. It's on managing people. There's only one definition of a leader. They have followers. If people aren't willing to follow you without your credentials, without authority, you're not a leader. Important to recognize that. Truly, only humans are capable of following a leader. We can make that conscious choice to empower that leader with our loyalty and our trust. And this is what leadership does. So again, let's look at leadership, and we'll follow that definition again of a leader has followers. Now, when you measure management, again, you start at the top, you go down. You have different layers of management. You have different layers of people with high levels of authority and accountability, and we're okay with that. We're used to that. We're used to someone up above kind of giving us our marching orders, and that's no problem. They give us our targets, objectives, then measure how well we're doing against those targets and objectives. But leadership can only be measured from the bottom up. Only someone at this level can say they're willing to follow this person if they see their supervisor or manager as someone they trust and would follow them without their credentials, without their authority. That's a leader. The best picture of a leader is really, again, a parent. A parent takes care of their children. They take care of their sons and daughters, no matter what age. You rarely see a mother and father downsize their family because they had a rough year financially. We protect our family. We sacrifice for our family. A good leader will sacrifice what is theirs to protect what belongs to their team. They would not sacrifice what belongs to their team to protect what is theirs. There are three characteristics that any good leader, any leader of any type really, possess. They're like the three legs of a three-legged stool. If even one of them is gone, that stool is going to fall over. So their leadership will not stand without these three characteristics. And they're number one, a code of conduct. Number two is a high level of maturity. And three is a purpose bigger than themselves. The best code of conduct was given us by Jesus over 2,000 years ago on a Sermon on the Mount. And that's treat others as you would have them treat you. If we treat others as we would have them treat ourselves, then as leaders we're going to provide protection, and that will get us loyalty and trust. Again, if you have a boss, a manager, a supervisor, school teacher, principal, whoever in a leadership role, or a role of authority I should say, but they are not acting by that code of conduct. They don't treat others as they like to be treated. Maybe they're entitled. They seem better, because they've got to this level of authority. It's all about me, and you have to do what I say. That's no code of conduct, and they're going to make a lot of self-serving decisions. They're going to be looking out for themselves, and they're going to expect you to look out for themselves. So that code of conduct is that starting point, and really the best code of conduct is the golden rule. Let's treat others as we would like to be treated ourselves. And that goes into that second point of maturity. This reflects maturity. It reflects empathy and caring about one another. Maturity can be easily measured as our ability to put the needs of others above our own. As children, we have a low level of maturity, and as mothers and fathers, again, we work maturity into our children. We teach them not to pull hair, to share toys, to play nice, to look at the needs and feelings of others, to become empathetic. If you want to see maturity grow quickly, we go down to that third step, and that's a sense of purpose. When we have a purpose bigger than ourselves, then all of a sudden we need to grow that maturity. You might watch a child in school that has low level of maturity, and he or she decides they want to be a doctor when they grow up. Now all of a sudden, because of that, they've got to buckle down and study harder, and we find all their habits kind of improve as they look at that purpose of wanting to become doctor, lawyer, architect, whatever. Purpose breeds maturity, and then they both have to be controlled by that code of conduct. Again, if any of those are missing, we have a problem. As I mentioned before, the best example of leadership would be a parent. Good leaders are protectors. Protection is the key word of leadership. Again, we have a team, and we give loyalty and trust to those within the team that are looking out for us. When we see that our manager, supervisor, whoever, is looking out for our best interests and protecting us, it's no longer an us and them. They see themselves as, if we fail, they fail as part of us. And if they succeed, we succeed as a group. And now looking at it from a parent perspective becomes our moral compass. And that's part of that code of conduct. We really need a moral compass. And if we use parenting as our moral compass, that means in your work environment, is your work environment one that you would like an adult son or daughter of yours to work in? Are there tasks that you would cringe if you saw your adult son or daughter do? If so, don't let anyone else do them. If you wouldn't like your son or daughter, who's an adult, working in the same environment that your employees are working in, for one reason or another, it's unsafe, it's demoralizing, it's not a good atmosphere, don't let anyone else work in it. Change it. That's our moral compass. Again, it shows protection for those that we care about. We value our team members. We value those that work with us. This is how communities thrive. If I go back to the lack of leadership is the biggest problem in America today, again, communities thrive by those 3 points. People that have a code of conduct, a high level of maturity, and a sense of purpose bigger than themselves. So we take care of one another. When we don't have that, when we have people who are entitled, maybe you're a senator or the president or the head of a company, and now you feel that, I'm the one who's in charge, they have to kiss my butt, so to speak. You see yourself as very important. When we become self-important, we make others less important. That's the opposite of leadership. You're going to find very little loyalty or trust towards you if you're that type of a person. When we look at a leader versus someone who's not a leader in an authoritative role, we're going to find they follow one of two archetypes, and these are the ones we see in movies. We have an archetype for the hero, and we have one for the villain. And we're going to find that person that we see in a leadership role, again in school or at work or in the government office, follows one of those two archetypes. Let's look at the villain first. The villain is self-centered. Again, it's all about me, me, me. They are entitled, pretentious. I'm better than you are. I'm at this level. You need to do what I say. I don't really care what you want to contribute to the conversation. All I'm looking for you is to validate what I'm saying and get behind me and follow in line. Those are the villains. This is what we see in most archetypes for a villain in a movie or a story. Quick to sacrifice others for self-gain. You got to protect yourself because they're not going to protect you. The hero is the opposite. They're the ones that would sacrifice themselves to protect their group. I love the movie the 300 with the Spartans at Thermopylae taking on the Persians when King Leonidas talks to King Xerxes, and King Xerxes says, I crave victory so much, there's not one of my men I wouldn't sacrifice for victory. And King Leonidas looks at him from the perspective of his 300 Spartans, and he goes, and there's not one of my men I wouldn't die for. Again, we need real leaders. Leadership does not come by positions of authority. It comes by protecting those that we care about that work with us. Again, lack of leadership is the number one problem in the U.S. today. I hope to make more videos, or will be making more videos along this line, just giving tidbits of different perspectives on leadership. And I hope to challenge you. Look at your work environment. Look at the type of person you have. Here's the reality. Those people that choose to be heroes over villains are going to harvest so much synergy and so much loyalty and trust, they're going to blow the doors off their competitors. They're going to have flocks of people wanting to do business with them, be suppliers with them, be customers of them, and be people working for them. Be a hero, not a villain. Thank you, Brian McCorder, Applied Well Lean Thinking. Till next time.